I'm just going to introduce Brando Ballerini very quickly. He's a graduate of the Politecnico University in Milan, and he has a degree as a registered professional engineer. He's worked his entire life in Italy and the United States in the drilling industry, oil and gas drilling industry. Since 2003, he has been president of DrillMech, which is a company that specializes in drilling equipment and drilling rig manufacturing based in Houston, and is part of the Trevi Group. And I like to mention also that the Trevi Group of Italy is involved here in Louisiana in the reconstruction of the levees that were partially destroyed by Katrina as part of a consortium which is led by Archer Western. And the Trevi Group share of the work, I think, is $120 million. I don't know if you're involved with that. Brando, of course, is here as is president of the Italy America Chamber of Commerce in Houston. So we welcome you here.
Thank you. Ladies, gentlemen, thank you for coming. I will try to be as much as possible more specific in when you will do to me questions. Obviously, it's difficult. Business is so various, so different. So it will be difficult for me to present the different aspects that we normally handle with the Italian American Chamber of Commerce. Any business is really specific. Any business needs special attention. What we are trying to do with our Chamber of Commerce, which is a non-profit organization supported by the Italian government, but is, I would like to say, a friendly community of businessmen, entrepreneurs, and so it's trying, because all together we have this love for our country, for Italy. We are trying to promote the import in the United States, but as well we are supporting companies that want to export to Italy. Next. The Chamber activity is mainly dedicated to servicing businessmen that want to, from Italy, import food, wine, equipment, also service to the United States. Obviously, we are in Texas. We would like also to extend our presence in our territory, which is also including Louisiana. In Italy, the Consul General of Italy is basically responsible for Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas. As well, the Italian Chamber of Commerce has a first development in Houston and in Dallas, but would like to extend. We are now, the Chamber of Commerce is present in Houston since a long time, but recently we were trying to expand our activity. I don't want to really be focused on the service. Service is something really general. We can give you support and logistics. I think you are more interested to what kind of support we can give to the export to Italy. I want to also focus the fact that Italy is fundamentally, as the Consul General was showing, is fundamentally an exporter. But also is a big importer. in Italy, we have a strange way to approach the import. We don't just import stuff we need. I think Italy is famous for its fashion or its food, but one of the most sold brand in Italy is Ralph Lauren. In food, also, we are sometimes preferring French wine, which is very strange because I think we have a very good wine from Italy. But or by cars, by example, it's more trendy to drive an Aston Martin in Italy than a Ferrari. So Italy is a strange country in that. Yeah, it's true. Honestly, it's true. We have plenty of BMW, Aston Martin, when we have wonderful cars, obviously, but unfortunately, this is the system in Italy. And that's why Italy probably doesn't need a lot of equipment, food, or fashion stuff, but we are importing a lot. And I don't think you have to be discouraged also if you are in the food business to attempt to export to Italy. Please, next one. Being a non-profit organization, we need support from business, from companies to grow. We have an interesting growth in the last years. In the past, because I am with the Chamber of Commerce since a long time, since '98, in the past we were really depending from the Italian government. The support of the Italian government was basically 80%, 90% of our revenue. That's when we decided to change. Also, the Italian government forced us to change because it wants to spend a little bit less with us. We force our members to participate more, and we grow a lot. I'll give you just a sample. In '98, our revenue were probably around $70,000. Today are around $700,000. And also we are trying to geographically expand, involving, by example, why not, New Orleans. Obviously, we need support from local business, but I think Louisiana, as the number that the Consul General was showing, Louisiana has a strong possibility to export to Italy. I am in the oil and gas business, and obviously Texas and Louisiana are strongly depending from the oil and gas activity. Unfortunately, recently Louisiana had a big problem after the BP disaster. But here the industry is producing a lot of equipment that can be used in the Mediterranean area and especially in Italy. I'm talking about pipes and other equipment. Please. This is all the chambers that we have in the United States. We have Miami, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, and Houston. Geographically, as you see, the main city that traditionally were representing big import from the United States, and then talk about New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, and also Miami, recently have been a little bit substituted from the Chamber of Commerce of Houston, which is growing and growing, together with the growth of Houston and Texas in terms of numbers. I think that also New Orleans and Louisiana has to recover from the big problem that they had recently after Katrina and after the disaster in the Gulf. More than welcome, I would like to create also in New Orleans. Obviously, it will not be a main location, will depend from Houston, but the people is here is representing that there is some interest for Italy, and why not? We can create. We will ask the support of the honorary consul, and our general consul is now trying to support a lot of the commerce, and is trying to force us to open a location also in New Orleans. I would like, all right, this is skip. I don't want to talk about money today. Now, this is the benefits. It's more important that the cost is not really a lot to be member, but the benefits, I think, are a lot, especially now that is a younger chamber with a more presence of businessmen, entrepreneur, and representative of the industry. We have a lot of U.S. partners in Houston. We have not only Italians. We have banks, law firm, exporter to Italy that are member of our chamber. We can give to them strong support. Obviously, to make business in Italy is not easy, like to make business overseas. I personally started a company in Peru, in Brazil, in the United States, and I found always that the professional approach to create a business or to export in a country is to use the tools that your country is giving to you, but also some tools that in your country you have, like the Chamber of Commerce of the World Trade Center, or the Greater Houston Partnership, by example, in Houston. Those are tools that you have to use, are there for a scope, and you have to use. Sometimes the Italians have the defect to start the business by themselves, don't really trust in the support of the Chamber of Commerce or the consulates or the embassies. Italians, they say, I do by myself, it's better. That, I think, is wrong. It's not, at least it's not a modern approach. It's not a professional approach. Today, you have to use the tools that are present in the industry. And the internet, the globalization are nice words. In Italy, we don't really know what means, because we are exactly the contrary of globalization. I've seen people coming in Houston without an idea of what it means to have a visa, what it means to be to start a business. They start business without a visa. They start a business without. And I talk it because my wife is immigration attorney, so basically, I'm just curious about the fact that I see many businessmen coming in the United States, and only after 2-3 years start to think, what about my visa, what about my immigration status, or this kind of stuff. This is a mistake. Like the consul of Italy said before, you need, if you want to export or you want to be present in Italy, you have to use some tools, including attorney, including CPA or consultant for your tax. Italy is complicated, as like all of Europe, has a strong bureaucracy. Our system, also legal system, is totally different from the U.S. system. U.S. system is based on the Anglo-Saxon system, although the Italian system is based on the Roman, and we are more based on prevention In the United States, there's more punishment. So in Italy, you have to be very careful in the beginning because you will be checked and controlled more than by simple to make business. Many times I said it's very easy to make business for me, born in Italy, and making business in Italy. It's very easy to make business in the United States, especially in Texas. Very simple, very easy. Big advantage of Houston also, there is, at least in our sector, there is no unions, there is no complication. In Italy, it's more complicated. In Italy, you will have to use tools. I think, modestly, that we can be a tool. We can help you to find the right partner. I think if you want to make business in a country, you have to find a good partner in the country because he knows the rules, he knows the law, he knows the system. And try to avoid like the Italians make just by themselves. As a Chamber of Commerce, we can help you. We will be more than welcome to, for no money, to give an idea what you can do in Italy. And if you need support in translation, something of our service, more than welcome. Good. Okay, this is also something that I would like to talk about. Recently, one of the things we were more pushing is to have young people involved and start to think about commerce from Italy to Italy. We opened to young guys coming from university in Italy, mainly the commerce or economics university, working for our chamber for at least 3 months. We don't pay these people, obviously, but they learn. And I think for young people it's very important, and we create a more open mind in those young guys. As well, we are available to receive people from United States, young guys from United States. They want to learn how to make commerce with Europe, Italy, and to understand better our system. But this is just a sample. Probably if you understand the Italian system, which is one of the most complicated, it will be easy to make business in other countries. And so this internship is open also to young guys that want to basically learn about commerce and activity. Okay. I don't think it's finished. And I think that more than a presentation, I would like to answer your question. Probably everybody has a different need, and me and the Council, we were more than welcome to answer. Thank you for the.
So thank you for those 2 presentations. So please, if there are any questions, is there any questions? Yeah, please.
Thank you for your presentations. I'm from the Port of New Orleans, and from the Port of New Orleans, we have a very good service into the Port of Giatora. Which, as you mentioned, is a transshipment port. And out of Giatora, we go to Asia, because currently we don't have an all-water service to Asia, which is something we're working on. But I was just curious if you have an update on the Port of Giatora, if there's any infrastructure improvements or expansion.
None that I know of, but I'll look it up.
Okay.
Do you have any trade missions coming to the United States in the near future this year?
Yes, yes, we organize every year something around 10 trade missions. Normally we organize with city or regions of Italy. Regions obviously is like states for United States, really smaller. Mainly cities. For example, Every town in Italy has traditionally a sector. Per example, Brescia is very good for the guns and stuff. And we organize a mission in Texas today. To be honest, we just basically organize with Texas, but probably can be interesting if we find the right people to organize one to New Orleans.
What's the possibility?
Sure.
Because it's my understanding you have got something coming to Texas.
Sure.
What's an opportunity to let the World Trade Center know here so that those of us who might want to partake, or maybe since they're already coming to Houston, it's a small hop over to here,
Sure.
to have a one-day opportunity to have some, facilitate some opportunities here in Louisiana and in New Orleans.
Sure. The best way normally is we decide what is really interesting, what New Orleans can offer, and New Orleans and Louisiana generally, obviously, can offer to Italy, and after we can find the right town or the right kind of business to travel to the United States. Because normally in Italy is very diversified. For example, like I said, Brescia is famous for the guns. Modena is famous for the Ferrari, so Franco is happy. No, but the best way is to find out what really New Orleans can offer, and after that we can find the right people from Italy.
Well, if you're coming already, I was just suggesting that if you sent us a list of those who were coming,
Sure.
we might be able to say there are
Sure.
those here who would
Sure.
like to interface with us.
Sure. Sure we can. Please.
My name is Joseph Hunter, and we've been trying to bring the international banks to Louisiana. And I'm reviewing the Federal Reserve Bank Board for Italy, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 banks in the United States from Italy. Unfortunately, it's New York, New York, New York, and New York, but you do have one from Los Angeles. Yeah. And so a lot of times they have a branch, and they'll take a rep bank or an agency bank, and they'll put a small presence in other parts of the United States. And so it becomes a unified, being able to put it together. But what I'm saying here is, as Louisiana is number 6 from, which is sizable. And I'm looking here that you have 48 billion parked in the United States, $48 billion parked in the United States in 4 banks. San Paulo and Unicredit are the 2 big ones. There are 2 smaller ones here. But Louisiana had an old law, 561, international branch banks prohibited from doing any business in the state of Louisiana. I got it abolished with Charlie Lancaster, our Metairie State Representative. We would like to tell your banks that are in New York, New York, New York, and New York that you can put a presence here. We are now the most advanced out of all 50 states for international banking. And so if you want a rep bank here, you can do it. An agency bank, you can do it. A branch bank, you can do it. A subsidiary bank, you can do it. An IBF, International Banking Facility, you can do it. An EDGAC agreement. So what we're trying to say is instead of New York, they could put a presence here.
Yeah, it's true. And honestly, as a group, today we have a lot of problems because our biggest activity, for example, is in Boston as a group. For example, I talk about our group, and like Arnaldo said, we have a strong presence, for example, in Louisiana, because we are participating to the ladies program. We don't have any Italians banks supporting this activity. We work a lot, also in Houston, we work a lot with Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America. We are very, very suffering this problem. We were trying also as a group, but also that's what we are trying to do. We cannot do as a Chamber of Commerce. It's difficult for us to approach the bank. Banks, they're not changing because we are saying just you have to expand. But the problem of the Italian bank here, despite we invented basically the bank system, but the Italian banks have a very low international presence. And that was an advantage in 2008 because we were one of the few European banks not involved in the big problem in the United States with the mortgage. But that's a big problem. Actually, we lost. For example, in Houston, before we had a couple of branches of Italian banks, and we lost. New Orleans, as you said, we never had presence. Expanding our activity as a bank is very important because it can support better our business in the United States. I agree perfectly with you. Actually, I perfectly agree because it's one of the biggest problems we have is that our banks are not really expanding overseas, including the United States. Italy always loved New York City. How much is difficult for him sometimes to make Italian government to understand that also Houston is important, or Louisiana can be important, or other parts of the United States are important. When there is a mission, they go to New York, LA. I work in the oil and gas. Today, the Italian commerce base is for the oil and gas is in Los Angeles. And you know that in California they drill a little bit because they don't like energy in any kind of way.
If I can follow up on you, I can make contact with the banks. So what I'm asking is that you provide me with the ammunition, meaning that if you write me a letter pointing out the Louisiana advantages for why it makes business sense for a bank to open a branch here, I can make sure it gets to the right people in Washington and beyond. So please do that.
Okay, if there are no other questions, I would like to thank you to our two speakers. We have a small present as well I would like to hand you over.
Thank you, love. Thank you, love.
Small one. Thanks for being here, Said, and this breakfast is adjourned.